And we're live. What's going on, you guys? This is Damenicion Scott with another live stream here. And today, welcome back me and my good fellow friend, Lee's Movies. Tell everyone how you doing.
Hello, I'm Ray. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. And if sorry that my phone's talking. If you're new to me and my channel, I am a movie collector. I do a lot of showings of what I add to my collection. I've also been doing a gameplay of Baldur's Gate 3 recently, and just stuff like that, fun stuff like that. If you like movies, video games, things like that, you'd like my channel.
Thank you very much. And if you guys are subscribed to my channel, you guys know I love collecting movies. I love playing video games, and I make topic videos. Like I recently did um, my favorite sequels of, of all time, or just I really enjoy more than their predecessors. And you did check that one out too, right?
Yeah,
Anything
I
you
did.
anything you want to say about that?
Actually, I agreed with most of the movies of your choosing. To be honest, like I knew Rush Hour was one of them. Yeah, I do like Rush Hour 2 more than the first movie. I think X2 was one of them too, and I like that one. Yeah, so I agreed with a good amount of your list.
Absolutely. And I think I'm going to do another list like that too at some point. But if you guys are joining in, please give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to Ray's channel. And we will be doing episode 4 on her channel next Tuesday. So, ready to start this episode. You want to recap anything from episode 2?
Episode 2, well, that was after the fact of little Jaehaerys being murdered in his bed, and that actually set Aegon off. So now Aegon actually does want to go to war with Rhaenyra. And Rhaenyra had no clue that even happened. She found out that it was actually Daemon who sent the assassins, and the assassins were actually supposed to kill Aemond, but couldn't find Aemond, so they decided to take it out on Aegon's little boy. And yeah, this is just getting worse, and the families are definitely now preparing for war. And that was pretty much the highlights of the last episode. So
We got one person in the chat so far. We have Anthony says, "How are you, buddy? Doing well. I'm working on memories up to 1997. Nice. And he's subscribed to your channel, Ray.
oh, thank you, appreciate it.
So, without further ado, let's start playing this episode right now on my count.
Are you past the skip overview, or
Wait a second.
yeah, because I'm right up to the point where it's about to start the opening.
Yeah, mine says HBO. Does yours?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, on my count, 1, 2, 3, go. But Rockers Los Angeles, 7 blessing friends.
Thank you for joining in.
Very appreciate that. Yes, this is our first time watching this episode.
Yeah, we usually wait till Tuesdays because that's the only time I'm free to do them.
Right. Oh, did you just see that? They're burying the twins' bodies.
Yeah, they're burying them together. I actually like that Rhaenyra did that. That's sweet.
Gotcha.
There may be another way.
I'm excited for you guys. I'll check back if you're doing a review. No problem.
Yes. We'll be doing a short review after the episode, so come back in about like 40 minutes to an hour, and we'll be doing a review. No. Rhaenyra really needs to listen to Rhaenys. Rhaenys is very smart, and she needs to be listening to what she has to say. Yeah, because everything Rhaenys said right there was truth, and Rhaenyra needs to heed it. Also, what's up with these white cloaks? Like, the whole white cloak army has just gone to hell since Aegon has taken the crown. Did you see them sitting on their job? They're guards. It's not being prepared.
Like they're lazy.
Yeah, and they're lazy. They're joking with the king. It's like, what kind of relationship is that?
Keith?
No, Sammy boy, we're friends.
Just simply friends.
I would punish the high towers for what they have done.
But thanks for stopping by. Adrian James, thank you for stopping by.
Your Grace.
Hello.
Your Grace.
Jiggles come through the hair.
You saw the eggs, right? Those eggs? Those are Danny's eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black, the green, and the gold. Those are Danny's dragons. Yeah,
And that's how they keep
were petrified. Well, they're burning them right now because that's to hatch them. But what happened to those eggs is they became petrified. And then they ended up in Danny's hands, and then Danny hatched them. But yeah, that's Drogon, Viserys, and Rhaegal.
Well, what a surprising cameo.
Yeah, I actually like that because it really symbolizes like how much Damon is like regretting, like his regret. You know, leaving Rhaenyra, kind of in sort of a way taking advantage of her when he's young, when she was young, and killing a child. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? I, maybe if Damon regrets it so much, maybe he didn't order it. You know how like I was always saying I don't believe him, but if he's regretting it this bad, maybe he is. Maybe he was telling the truth.
Oh. Now they're talking to each other.
Yeah. I'm actually really enjoying this scene.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Like, is this? Is this the first episode now where they speak to each other right in front of screen?
This is the first time they've spoken since, like, Viserys died. Is this the end of the episode?
I have a feeling that this was the last part of the episode.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that scene was interesting with Rhaenyra and Alicent.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't in the book.
Wasn't?
No. And I mean, there's a pretty good explanation for why that wouldn't be in the book, because the book is a history book. So it was written by like many different authors from within this time period, okay? And of course, none of the authors are Rhaenyra or Alicent. So who would know that Rhaenyra snuck off in secret to meet with Alicent? So that's a good explanation as to why it wasn't in the book. But I absolutely loved that scene because that's when Alicent realizes she made a mistake. A big mistake. Because Rhaenyra's like, no, that's the Song of Ice and Fire. That's a story, a prophecy from Aegon the Conqueror. In no way, shape, or form was Viserys talking about Aegon, his son. So, yeah, Alicent just realized in that instant that she made a boo-boo. But in no way is she gonna try to fix it. Nor, I don't think she could. Everything's too far gone now.
Maybe right.
Yeah, it's like Aegon's already, set on war. The men around him are all set on war. Even, like, if you listened to Rhaenyra's court, even her court wants to go to war. So it might be too... Yeah, well, obviously, it's too late. I mean, this story is nothing new. This story has been referenced in the Game of Thrones series very often about like what happens in this story, but yeah, I liked that scene. That's probably my favorite scene of this episode.
That's actually a surprise. I was wondering if these two would talk to each other anytime this season.
Yeah, honestly, I think it was good for the episode to put them in there and
really
have them speak. Yeah, because, and I love it even more because, just because Alicent, really, really, really needed to know that, she caused all this. Yeah, all because of a mistake. I mean, there were many elements, but her taking Rhaenyra's throne away for Aegon was one of the starting points.
Somebody mentioned this, that they're all bad guys. They're not technically good guys. They're just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the series is doing a pretty good job at making everyone feel morally gray. Right now, they're making Rhaenyra out in the show to be, like, on the good side of this. She's trying everything in her power to not go into this war. And that's through her perspective. But when the war started, according to many, hand-eyed witnesses, who the narrators of the book talked about, like, how, like, I don't want to say evil because no one's technically evil, but how, like, bad Rhaenyra gets. That, like, she does a lot of bad things in this war. And it's not just her, Aegon as well. But yeah, they both do very deplorable things in this war. And so yeah, you could argue that yeah, Rhaenyra is not an innocent in this war and the brutality of what happened in the war. So, but yeah, at this moment, Rhaenyra, I guess, was still holding out hope that she could end the war, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And I think even if she surrendered, because Alicent was like, "Oh, so you're here to surrender?" And I'm like, I don't think that's going to do anything. If she surrenders, Aegon's just going to have her killed.
So, whose side you're still on?
Oh, even when I read the book, I was always on Rhaenyra's side because Rhaenyra did have the rightful claim to the throne. So technically, she's the one in the right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I was always on Rhaenyra's side of the war, even though she does a lot of bad things, which I'm curious to see because the show's kind of making her out like she's the good side, wanting to end the war. But I wonder if this show, when the war actually starts, if it's really going to show some of the more horrible things that she did, because she does a lot of bad things in the war, and I'm curious if the show will actually do that, if they remain faithful to, like, you know, what was recorded in the history books.
Well,
So
this is an adaptation, so I can bet you there's going to be some twisted change.
yeah, yeah. So this is going to be interesting. Although, like I said, because the book was a history book, so it was written all secondhand knowledge, and some eyewitnesses were responsible for some of the inserts in the history book. They saw firsthand what happened, and there were some secondhand references in the book too. So the history book takes sides and it flops back and forth between who's right and who's wrong. And you can't really believe everything because everyone is what's the word? They're not believable narrators in a sense. They all have their own agenda. So the show's trying to like clear it up to say that this is what actually happens and this is what the book said happened. So I don't know. Was Rhaenyra as cruel as the books made her out to be? Who knows? That's something that the show will have to depict. Because the Blacks said that Aegon was very cruel and evil, and the Greens said Rhaenyra was very cruel and evil, and then they both threw it out going, this is what they did, this is what they did, you know? So who knows what's actually true or not. Yeah, but I think that's what's so interesting about this show. Is it's actually trying to show us what actually happened. Another scene that stuck out was Daemon, and that like either that dream or that vision he had, whatever that was.
Yeah, that surprised.
Yeah, they brought back
Young Rhaenyra.
Alcock, yeah. The actress who did young Rhaenyra. That was a really nice bring back of the actress.
And who knows? Maybe we'll get to see more cameos.
Yeah, maybe. Especially if Daemon has like more of these regret flashes or dreams, because I think it was supposed to be a dream, like he was dreaming or something. But yeah, that dream really showed me that maybe he does regret everything that happened. I don't know. That's what it was. What it was trying to get to me. Like, yeah, he didn't order the death of that kid. That kid's death weighs heavy on him. Rhaenyra weighs heavy on him because he left her alone to deal with this all by herself. The stuff he caused. So I don't know. Maybe he was truthful when he was fighting with Rhaenyra in the last episode. maybe he didn't order the death of that kid.
Oh.
But he's, Damon. It's like you can't really trust him. He's such a untrustworthy character. Like, not even Rhaenyra could believe him, and I honestly didn't believe anything he said. But I don't know, that whole dream sequence kind of, brings a little bit of clarity to his side of things. Maybe it was all a mistake. He didn't mean any of it. Who knows?
So, how would you rate this episode from 1 to 10?
I would rate this one a little less than I did the first episode. So far, I would say this is my least favorite episode. Doesn't mean the episode's bad. It's just my least favorite of the episodes. So I'd probably rate it about a 7.5.
Okay. I'm still going with the 8 out of 10 for myself.
Yeah, because overall it was a very good episode, and that final scene with Rhaenyra and Alicent, that really needed to happen, and I'm glad they did it. It just shocked me because that wasn't something that was in the book, so that's something that's completely new for the show. So,
well, as for myself, I am shocked at that sequence, and that's going to be, in my mind, perhaps one of the best sequences in this whole series so far.
Yeah, and I think because they did that scene, and I don't want to spoil anything, but like with the end of the book, with like what happens with Alicent, that scene with her and Rhaenyra when they were talking, and Alicent realizes that, hey, this is all my fault. This was a mistake. That is going to absolutely destroy her. Yeah. I mean, Alicent was already destroyed by the end of the war. But that scene, I know it really brings out like what happened in the book with Alicent at the end of the war. So that's going to be curious to see. Yeah. Yeah, because Alicent, she was not doing good after that war. So, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and we saw a new dragon. Yeah. That was Moon Dancer.
Really?
Yeah, Bela's dragon. If I'm remembering correctly, Moon Dancer was like the fastest dragon in Rhaenyra's army. I think Moon Dancer is supposed to be the fastest dragon. But I mean, like, you saw how fast she was going. Like, when they were chasing the horse, how fast that dragon was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. If I'm remembering correctly, she was down in history books as being one of the fastest dragons. So, but yeah, she was pretty. I loved that design on that dragon. But, I mean, those were the things that really stuck out in this episode. But we know that that Daemon reached Harrenhal before the Greens did. So, and the Strongs allied themselves with Rhaenyra. But that's probably because Daemon walked in with a very big sword. So. Oh, is that fireworks on your end?
Yeah, you heard that.
Yeah, I was like, that was a big boom. But yeah, that's everything that stuck out in this episode for me. I don't know if anything else stuck out to you.
Let me see. Okay, well, a surprising cameo by a young Rhaenyra, and the end of the episode, and overall, I think it's a really, really good episode. I'm not ready to say it's my least favorite episode. Whether or not this is true, maybe I think I like this episode more than last week's episode. Hey, I want to bring this up too. What about that? What about all that sequence? Like, maybe I shouldn't mention it. What about that sequence? Doing that nighttime sequence with everybody.
Oh, when they were in the whorehouse?
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting scene because we actually get to see like Aegon in like when he's not doing his kingly duties. But I mean, like, does he ever really do kingly duties? Because even when he's in his court, it seems like he's bored and not taking anything seriously. And you could see a change in his guards because they're not acting like white cloaks. They're his friends. They're his buddies, you know? And I don't know. It really brought up like the relationship that Aegon has with his bodyguards, with the white cloaks. Yeah, it really shows that he's probably not the best for a king. Honestly, I think Aemond would be a much better king than Aegon. Oh, and that scene where he was just tormenting the hell out of Aemond. When Aemond was trying to have a moment with his girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It really brings out Aegon's character. I don't like him very much. Oh, and I wanted to bring up White Worm. White Worm was that woman that was talking with Rhaenyra, who asked to get a place on her council. Because White Worm is the one who spotted Eric in the last episode. Because she spotted him and she was like, wait a minute, that's not Rhaenyra's Eric. That's the other Eric. And she's the one that reported it that ended up saving Rhaenyra's life in the last episode.
I see.
And yeah, I really like how Rhaenyra, well, the girl said, well, I didn't just do it out of the kindness of my heart. I want something out of it. And she was like, I want to be on your council. And Rhaenyra respected it and gave her a spot on the council, probably as a whisperer of secrets, and basically like a spy master. So I liked that. Rhaenyra repaid her debt there. Oh, and I also like how Rhaenyra is actually taking Rhaenys' advice too. Rhaenys is a very I don't know if she's underrated. Not a lot of people talk about Rhaenys, but yeah, the old woman. Yeah, she's a really good character. I like her. She's very smart, and I think it would do Rhaenyra a lot of good to listen to her advice. But I know what happens with all that, so I'm not going to say anything. But if you read the books, you know everything that goes on with Rhaenys. I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, because I don't want to ruin anything because I know you haven't read the book. So, and I want it to be a surprise for you, especially when they get to the war.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're leading up to battle very soon, though, because the Greens are already marching to war. So we might get some battles soon.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be fun.
Hope so. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's everything I'd have to say about this episode. But yeah, it's a good episode.
So are you ready to wrap this whole thing up?
I am, if you are.
All right, so thank you all for watching us react to this episode. Thank you for stopping by, Adrian, James, Sammy Boy, and Anthony, and Rockers Los Angeles. We appreciate you guys. And if you guys haven't yet already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And go subscribe to Ray's channel. We'll be doing episode 4 next week on Tuesday on her channel. But that is going to be it. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys later. Peace out.
Have a good night.